Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive talking nerd John Norgrove, and this is Nerd Jive. Didn't get to shoot outside today, got home a little late, and it's a little cloudy. Although I feel like, and let me know below if you thought this, I thought the video, Monday's video, looked really, really good. I really like the outdoor lighting. I think it looks way better than all this artificial crap that I'm doing in the house to be able to see me and my camera doesn't have a tiny, tiny panic attack. But let's get in the news. I kind of wanted to get this done nice and quick-like. Today's real short news, real quick. First up, there's a new trailer for Life. So it's like it's a restricted trailer. I mean, I wasn't logged into YouTube when I watched it, and it didn't ask me about some sort of age verification. So I feel like it's Hollywood restricted. You know, like pretensy they're trying to whatever. But I kind of don't care because Life looks awesome. So Life is that they discover life on Mars. Space station movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds. It's kind of creepy or whatever. This new trailer looks super good and it's super creepy. I mean, there's a couple of scenes in the trailer where it's like there's one scene where Jake Gyllenhaal's like in his spacesuit walking through like a depressurized cabin, and he's kind of hunched over and he's walking with some sort of a device. It doesn't show it. It doesn't look like it's a gun, but maybe it's some sort of like a welding thing or something. I don't know. And he's like walking through there, and like the voice on his intercom's just like, "Do you see the creature? Do you see anything?" And he's like, I don't see anything." And then as the audience, you see him, and then it's kind of pulled back a little bit, and there's like a tentacle kind of doing this fucking thing trying to get to him. Oh man, so creepy. I'm so excited. I love Jake Gyllenhaal, love Ryan Reynolds. It looks awesome. That comes out March 24th, so that's in like 9 days. Yeah, 9 days, which is awesome. I cannot wait to see that. I'm super excited. I think that looks awesome. More trailer news. So there's a trailer out for a movie called Sleight. Like sleight of hand Sleight. So it's about this kid that, like, his parents died and he's taking care of his sister. He's a black kid. He's taking care of his sister and he's living in like a kind of a sketchy neighborhood, and he's like a street magician. He can do the card thing and, you know, like that kind of stuff. Chris Angel mind freak shit. And so, like, he's trying to take care of his sister. His parents are dead. And so because he needs money, he starts like running drugs or something, like gets in with the wrong crowd. And then, like, he goes on his drug run, and all of a sudden they're like one of the guys on the run shoots somebody, and he's not comfortable with it, so he's trying to like get out. And the other guy is like, you're part of a family now. I gave you a job when you didn't need, when you were looking for one, you couldn't get something else. So like, I'll shoot you in the face if you do anything. But come to find out, his Chris Angel mind freak street magic powers are actual magic. Like, he can float shit with his mind and push things with his mind and shit. And so he decides to train up with an old white man who I assume also has magic powers, or is maybe the most wise and unaware human in all of human existence. It's fucking 50-50 based on the trailer. To build up his magical prowess so he can fight a bunch of drug lords, so he can be free of their reign, so him and his sister can live happily ever after. It looks so fucking good. Oh my god. This movie looks so amazing. I guess it's like a bloody Sundance or something like that, but it looks fantastic. Super excited about it. But the reason why I found out about this is because the director of Sleight is directing another movie, of which I have a link to the trailers below, but I also have a link to this story below. The director of Sleight has signed on to direct a remake because Hollywood doesn't understand how new ideas work. It's a remake of The Fly. They're remaking the goddamn classic starring Jeff Goldblum, The Motherfucking Fly. They're remaking it. That's so upsetting. Oh my god. Now, I have a little bit of hope because I saw the trailer for Sleight, and that looks amazing. So let's hope that this bloody director knows what he's doing. But at the same time, why are you remaking The Fly? I mean, technically the Jeff Goldblum version is a remake because it was made in like the late 50s. It had 3 movies. There was The Fly and then 2 other sequels that did pretty good. And then in the 80s, they remade The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, and then they made a sequel, The Revenge of the Fly, or something like that. I don't 100% remember what it was called. That was a goddamn failure of a movie and just hot garbage. But, yeah, they're remaking The Fly. It's going to be shit. But either way, ignore that news, unless you want to read it, then link below. And watch the trailer for Sleight. Let me know what you think below. I'm so excited. I cannot believe I've not heard of it until right now. But I kind of heard it on the back of some pretty bad news, so maybe I'm a little biased. Speaking of remakes, and this made me puke in my mouth a little bit when I read it today. Warner Brothers is deeply considering remaking the Matrix movie. Because The Matrix, the movie that came out when all of us were alive, is old enough for a remake right now. Even though all of the stars in The Matrix are still alive, and everybody still talks about that movie, and it doesn't need a fucking remake. I was so goddamn upset when I heard this. Like, I straight up stopped writing my notes and did a lap around the building, because apparently somebody at Warner Brothers thought that a Matrix remake was a fucking acceptable thing to think. Whatever. It's so upsetting. But either way, Warner Brothers might remake The Matrix. All of our lives are ruined. Nobody cares about anything. Hollywood is full of idiots. That's all I have to say about that. More Hollywood news. Apparently that's what I'm doing today. Today's Hollywood news. And this is actually really good news. So the Russo brothers, which they're doing the Avengers Infinity War thing, they're looking at doing a Quantum and Woody TV series, which is awesome. Quantum and Woody, it's a Valiant comic. I've read maybe the first two grouping graphic novel, whatever you calls it. But it's like these two brothers that have superpowers that got them by accident, and they're real, like, making fun of each other, and you know, like, they're not like Valiant superhero. They're not Captain America. They're not like, I'm saving the world because that's the right thing to do. They're like, I guess we got to do some shit because we have superpowers, and what the hell else are we going to do with it? It's really, really good comic book series. Yeah, definitely try to check it out. I absolutely loved Quantum and Woody, and I'm really excited to see them make a TV series out of this, especially with the Russo brothers at the head. I mean, they really know what they're doing with comic book movies, and Quantum and Woody's so good. Like, I'm super excited about that. So that's absolutely fantastic news to hear that we're getting more than just DC and Marvel in the mix. I feel like having competition is a good thing, and DC, I know that they think they're competing with Marvel, but they're not, because their cartoons are great and their TV series are pretty good, but their movies are shit. They still make money, which is a little confusing, I think, to them and us and everybody included, but they're fucking shit movies. Let's be goddamn real here. So it would be nice to see more comic book companies or more comic book stories getting into the mix, mixing it up. I mean, if you think about it, Marvel really has nobody to compete with at that level. I mean, Star Wars is Marvel's competition. Disney princess animated movies is what else can stand to Marvel? It's like those two very specific subjects. Fox's or Sony's or whoever the hell owns the X-Men right now, I don't remember. But the X-Men universe is really the Marvel equivalent of the DC universe, where it's like they're putting out movies and they're still making money, but nobody watches an X-Men movie and it's like, that's the best thing ever. Logan, great movie. X-Men Age of Apocalypse, X-Men Apocalypse Now, whatever the shit that was called. Just shit movie. Technically it was better than Bats vs. Soups, but that's only because Bats and Soups was just a piece of shit. Oh man. You know what I'm gonna say? That Green Lantern was better than all of that stuff. Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern movie was better than Bats and Soups. it was better than bloody X-Men Apocalypse Now. It was better than X-Men First Class. It was better by an order of magnitude that my tiny human mind can't even fully compute than bloody the Superman movie, Man of Steel, or whatever the hell that was called. That movie was fucking shit. From the very beginning to the very end, the only redeeming quality of that movie was that it graphically looked pretty while they were on Krypton. On Earth, they had already blown their graphic budget wad, and so it was just like, listen, we're going to show them fighting real close where we can do it like live action, and they're going to pull back real far, so it's like tiny fleas bouncing off each other in a cityscape. When Superman broke Zod's neck, I felt zero emotions. Like, I wasn't even, amped that he broke the guy's neck, which is a very un-Superman thing to do. I was just like, yeah, you gotta break the guy's neck. There were, 3 people there. I mean, maybe he could have broke his neck 2 hours ago and saved 8 million people from being murdered in buildings. But yeah, we'll save this family of people. That's his line, is a family, not a building full of people that he just punched Zod through and collapsed in the middle of bloody downtown. Whatever. Yeah, just fucking complete garbage. So, hey, maybe Ryan Reynolds will get to remake Green Lantern. That would be awesome, right? I'd be okay with that. I just love Ryan Reynolds, so I'd be okay with anything he does in all reality. The last piece of news I wanted to talk about, which is real quick style, was kind of space racy. So we're in a bit of a big space race right now. Roscosmos, which I'm not certain I'm saying that correctly, Roscosmos, the Russian cosmonaut space agency, has essentially said that they're going to put cosmonauts on the moon, which is a big deal because they've never done that. Or maybe they have done that, whatever. Secret, they're not telling anybody, put Russians on the moon, but nobody thinks that. But Roscosmos wants to put Russians on the moon. They're working on they have a whole new launch site, they have a whole new manned crew capsule, which is going to be bigger and less shit, then maybe their fuel won't get stolen, and maybe their rockets won't explode on the launch pad, maybe they're going to get their shit together. I'm pretty excited about it because if Russia's pushing for it, other people are going to push for it, it's going to make more competition. Competition breeds better stuff. I mean, that's capitalism 101, right? So this is super good news. We have a space race. Now, I know right now the space race is landing people on the moon or getting to the moon. You know, SpaceX is going to orbit the moon with tourists, but they're not going to land or anything because they're shooting from Mars. And NASA wants to front load their whole sending astronauts to places thing to try to get astronauts to the moon and to Mars sooner to try to compete. And the Russian space agency is saying we're gonna land a cosmonaut on the moon by 2031. But if as time progresses, if that's what they're doing, they're sending astronauts to the moon and they're sending them to Mars, and SpaceX is making moves, and Blue Origins is making, I almost said Blue Gender. Good anime, not what I'm talking about. Blue Origins is making them, sending them into space, and NASA's doing it, and Japan and Europe and Australia and all these other space agencies are doing this. Then maybe Russia's going to push strongly to continue this mission. I don't think the race, even though right now the race is get people to the moon, get people orbiting the moon, get motherfuckers to touch the surface of the moon. I got dirt in my hand. You know, we're trying to relive the 70s. But I think that the big race that hasn't started yet, we're all pre-game, we're all doing the qualifying race, warming up for the full Monty. But I think the big race that's coming up is extraplanetary bases. I think it's going to be bases on the moon, bases on Mars, space stations, all of this stuff. And I mean, we need it as a species, which is awesome. But I think that's what the future holds. And I think that it's a good deal. I mean, we need to make these moves. Let's make these goddamn moves. You know what I'm saying? But it's awesome. I'm super, super excited to hear that Russia's getting in the race. I hope their tech does well. I hope their engineers push the limits. I hope they bring new technology and new inventions and new tech to the game. And I wish nothing but the best of luck to Russia in this. Just because if Russia succeeds, it's gonna make NASA work harder. And if Russia and NASA are succeeding and working harder, it's gonna make SpaceX and Blue Origins and Japan and China. It's gonna make everybody work harder. And this is where we need to go. We need to leave this planet. Not that we can't fix the issues that we have here, but we need to go somewhere else. We need to try harder, and this is how we do it. So this, absolute best of luck. That's all I can say. Best of luck. Super happy to hear about it. You know that I'm crazy about space stuff, so that's awesome news. That's where I wanted to end, is on an upbeat, because all this bloody remake stuff just depressed me earlier today. But either way, like, comment, subscribe, do the things that everybody says you need to do, or like to do, or whatever people say about that crap. But either way, I've been John Norgrove. This has been Nerd Jive. Stay nerdy.